Welcome to Desire. We look at the designs of one Italian master, Armani, a luxury cruise on the Queen Mary, drive in style in an Italian masterpiece, or just hang one on your wall. Whatever your heart's desire. But first, if you're contemplating a luxury stopover in London, you won't find many hotels as accommodating as the Landmark. Voted the city's best hotel by the London Tourist Board, this heavenly haven is one of the last great Victorian railway hotels, constructed during the golden age of the steam train. During the two world wars, it became a hospital and was bought by the present owners 10 years ago, when it was extensively renovated and refurbished.
From a business perspective, the London Tourism Awards are vital. They don't just look at customer service and the things you see front of house. They look behind the scenes at how an organisation invests in its product, the staff training and development, how they try and gain repeat business. So it doesn't just look at the bedrooms and the furnishings, it looks at the whole organisation and the way it runs itself.
General Manager Francis Green says the multi-million-pound investment programme has paid off.
Since we took over the hotel in August '95, we probably spent close to £4 million on various renovations and upgrades, and that's going to be followed by another £4 million coming and starting at the end of this month, which will go on for another 4 years. I mean, the costs never stop. We have a turnover in excess of 32 million, and we convert to about 47% of that down to profit. The bulk of our business is corporate individual travel, which represents about 54% of our business.
And of course, such quality doesn't come cheaply. Rooms start from £265 a night. The presidential suite is over £1,200 per night, but you do get the most up-to-date fax machine. During your stay in the bustling metropolis, you might want to take time out to savour the sweet aroma of English perfumery Penhaligon's in Covent Garden. Steeped in tradition, Penhaligon's made a name for itself way back in the 1870s, as the creator of luxury perfumes and bathing products for the more discerning ladies and gentlemen of Victorian England. Today, it's most famous for producing one of Princess Diana's favourite scents, Bluebell, and it still produces quality scents, soaps and talcum powders to the same traditional recipes. Products perfumed with traditional scents such as violet, Elizabethan rose and lily of the valley are sold for anything between £6 and £125.
Penhaligon's is unique. It's English. It's very, very luxurious and special in its packaging and design. We've always taken an approach that people would find us because ultimately people love something that's very unique and very special. And we have a global market of people who are fascinated and very, very loyal to Penhaligon's and will travel the ends of the earth to find it.
Sticking to the 19th century blends which made the company successful 100 years ago is not a bad business strategy, but it can make a company look old-fashioned and out of date, which is why Penhaligon's has been careful to keep adding new products to its portfolio, a philosophy which has given the company a new generation of clients.
While we want to hang on to our tradition of service, we're introducing a whole new range of fragrances that will appeal to a younger generation. The younger people still appreciate what we have to offer, but they want something that's much more appealing to their lifestyle, and that's what we hope to offer them.
And if you can't get to London, don't despair. Michelle Stewart's mission for the future is to take Penhaligon's scents to the rest of the world. The company has plans to open more shops in the United States, the Far East, Russia and Europe. And while you've got the credit card out, it might be a good idea to stock up on presents at Kensington's annual luxury gift fair. It's a quintessential British event where the traditional mixes merrily with the contemporary. Some 450 exhibiting companies show off their goods to shoppers, traders and the media. Over 30,000 people visit the fair over the course of its 3-day run, each with an average spend of just under £1,000. From a business perspective, the show is invaluable to smaller exhibiting companies.
It gives our company a lot more credibility to be at a fair because we're a mail order company. It's the only opportunity we have to be face-to-face with our customer. And even from a trade point of view, it's a fantastic place for buyers to see you. I think there were 8,000 people here yesterday. And to have access to that many people in this confined space is a fantastic opportunity.
However, getting a place at the fair is not easy. Only the creme de la creme of the gifts market are considered.
We have a vetting committee who look at each application to exhibit here. We judge them on criteria of presentation, suitability of product, and also whether their range suits the expectations of the visitor. And of course, we're looking at unashamedly the luxury end of the market to meet the expectations of the AB1 consumer who will be here.
And whether you're in pursuit of that ultimate gourmet experience, or just looking for that gorgeous little something for the loved one that has everything, organisers promise visitors to the fair won't be disappointed. Coming up, Giorgio Armani. If all that London shopping leaves you feeling hot and thirsty, why not skip over to Italy for a vodka on the rocks with a difference? Based on the Ice Hotel in Sweden, Milan's Freeze Box offers a corner of Lapland near the Mediterranean, with ice glasses, an ice bar, ice tables, an ice sofa, even ice lights. Made of 50 tons of crystal clear ice carried from the River Torn 200 kilometres north of the Arctic Circle, the ice bar offers a new take on dressing up for the evening. The refrigerated room is kept at -5 degrees Celsius, and visitors will only be allowed to stay in for half an hour. Partly to let as many people come through the bar as possible, and partly to avoid frostbite.
You know, this is pure ice, directly from the river. We are harvesting this ice in March every year, February, March. And then we are making such blocks or ice glasses from real ice from Torne River.
After 6 months, it will be time to rebuild the bar from ice already in storage in Milan, and more blocks will then have to be harvested from Lapland. The ice will be worn away over the months as people touch the ice and their breath starts to melt the thick, clear blocks.
Some ice has been already brought here in Milano and is being kept in a big store, and some other will come. And the nice part of it is that we can design it completely new every single time. And so we can put our ideas, we can put our style, and we can also have some Italian stylist or designer to help us in doing this.
While Milan's fashion crowd see going out for a drink as an opportunity to dress up, all of that goes out of the window as they are clad in thermal hooded capes with fleece gloves attached. As guests grab their vodka cocktails in square ice glasses, waitress Mia Nilsson compares Milan's coolest night spot to the one in Sweden.
It's much alike, but the one in Stockholm is smaller, and this was the first one, so we tried a lot of things there, so it's a little bit different.
Although she confesses, guests reaching for their square glasses do have one concern.
If they're going to stick to the glass, but they're not.
And while sipping their cool drinks, visitors can pull up the hood of their capes and pretend to be somewhere in the Arctic instead of on the streets of Europe's most desirable city. Well, I can look out and see the roofs and the streets of Milan, but I feel like this evening I'm well and truly in Lapland. If If it weren't for the fact he couldn't stand the sight of blood, another of Italy's major attractions may well have ended up sewing stitches of a different kind. But with an empire estimated by Forbes magazine to be worth $2 billion a year, Giorgio Armani clearly made a wise decision to ditch medicine in favour of becoming a department store window dresser in 1961. Not that he became an overnight sensation. Born in Piacenza, Italy in 1934, Armani worked for 9 years in well-known fashion house Nino Cerruti before finally setting up shop with partner Sergio Gagliotti. Hello magazine wrote that the menswear business was originally funded with the meagre proceeds raised by selling their Volkswagen in 1974. Tired of seeing men dressing in the same uniform way, a trend he describes as the Mao syndrome, Armani quickly established a new standard of understated elegance and easy-fit garments, fashioning haute couture's very first unlined jacket. He translated this relaxed style into an androgynous label for women in 1975. He's never been a fan of the extravagance often put on by other designers during fashion shows, and his clothes are famous for eliminating the superfluous to emphasize elegance and comfort. His mastery of style really came to the fore a few years later with the Armani Power Suit, underpinning the boardroom power of both male and female go-getters during the economic boom of the early 1980s. Giorgio Armani became the first fashion designer to appear on the cover of Time magazine since Christian Dior. A determined go-getter himself, he became one of the first designers to actively approach celebrities about wearing his designs, and confirmed Armani fans include LA Lakers coach Pat Riley and film stars Jodie Foster, Sophia Loren and Michelle Pfeiffer. At a recent Armani retrospective at the Royal Academy of Arts in London, more than 500 of his garments were on display, many of which started life on the red carpet at the Oscars or in one of the many films and stage productions Armani has designed the costumes for. His impressive list of film credits include gangster classic The Untouchables, along with Cadillac Man, Stealing Beauty, Ransom and The Comfort of Strangers. He set a trend with Eddie Murphy's famous suit in 48 Hours, although he takes a dim view of the current passion for fads. Now everything is a trend, everything is mixed. Not even creators have a personality. Trend kills creativity, it kills personal research. If one has the gift to be creative, then one has the right and the duty to be creative and show it. It's what I've always been trying to do. And he has no intention of retiring from the fashion forefront.
No, io so che alla mia età molta gente è già in pensione, però la vedo molto triste la gente in pensione.
I know that people of my age retire. I see retired people as very sad. I feel exactly as I did when I started. I've something left, because I have some more years. I'm more detached from things, more mature. My enthusiasm is the same every time as it was for my first collection. Now it's even worse, because then I could afford to make mistakes. If I go wrong today, everyone will be on me. Some are there waiting for it. It looks like they may be waiting for quite a while longer. Coming up, Michelangelo. From the finest haute couture of one Italian master to the priceless artwork of another. A record-breaking Michelangelo exhibition is giving a rare insight into the drawings the artist didn't want anyone to see. Michelangelo drawings closer to the master is the first Michelangelo exhibit at the British Museum in 30 years and has attracted almost 11,000 advance bookings. The display features 90 drawings by the Italian Renaissance sculptor, painter, poet and architect from collections in the British Museum, the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford and the Taylor Museum in Holland. It includes a collection of thumbnail sketches and red chalk studies which reveal the genesis of the painting of the Sistine Chapel roof in the Vatican Palace. Also on display are black and white chalk studies for the Last Judgment on the altar wall of the Sistine Chapel, architectural drawings for the Basilica of St. Peter's, and the drawings of the Crucifixion, which changed in style as Michelangelo reached the end of his own life.
Well, Michelangelo had a very, very long career. We know that he was working as an apprentice at the age of 12, and he was working until right at the end of his life when he was 88. And he did he was a painter, he was a sculptor, he was an architect, and as you say, he was a poet. And you see all those, the thing that links all of those except for poetry is drawing. Before he began to paint, to sculpt, to think about designing a building, he would do that on paper. Drawing was central to everything he did.
Born in Tuscany in 1475, Michelangelo was the best documented artist of the 16th century. Despite his low opinion of painting, he created two of the most influential fresco paintings in Western art, on the ceiling and altar wall of the Sistine Chapel in Rome. Chapman pointed out Michelangelo himself would not have wanted people to see the technical work that went into his final masterpieces.
I think he wants you to go and look at his finished work and not realize the labor that went into it. But I think looking at his drawings, you come away with a hugely enhanced appreciation of Michelangelo's genius. So I think in that respect he was wrong.
Chapman believes the collection at the British Museum sheds a unique light on the man behind the masterpieces and his techniques. Between 1500 and 1504, Michelangelo sculpted David, which was to become the most recognizable statue in history, as well as an international symbol of strength and youthful human beauty.
I think you do gain an understanding about Michelangelo by looking at his drawings. You get an idea that how amazingly hard-working he is, how driven he is. He's not somebody who's going to accept the mediocre. He's always going to keep on working and refining and working out ideas on paper until he's reached a satisfactory conclusion. And the other thing that we see is a really great religious artist. Michelangelo was somebody who really believed in heaven, believed in hell, and that gives his religious art an incredible power.